Hello, wrestling fans, and welcome to a Wrestling Gab. It is Wednesday, and that means it's time for Tony Schiavone and Sockface and Taz and whoever else they have on commentary. That's Dalitha. I'm Travis. Leopold's on her lap, and thanks for watching Wrestling Gab.
Oh, they're gonna start out with a signing thing or whatever.
Yeah,
For this
pimp
dweeb.
shit.
Great.
Yeah, he's a pimp now.
I guess get it out of the way fast.
Because he became cool. Oh wait, never mind. He's not cool. His tie's too short. His tie's like, have you ever worn a tie before, buddy? It's supposed to go to your belt.
Yeah.
Who tied it for you? The dweeb in the back that owns the place?
Probably.
Well, Shad owns it, but you know what I mean.
That person says I sometimes swerve when I drive. I do too, only when I've drank a lot of alcohol, which I probably should start doing. Anyways, we have some people in the chat. Looks like we have, Cat was freaking out. Why freaking out, Cat?
You would.
Anyways, Richard. Hey, Richard, good to see you tonight. Richard. Says, I wonder if Matthew, Nicholas, and Jack Off Perry will be gracing us with their presence at the next pay-per-view.
It's about time they do get back.
Maybe.
Unless they got other things going on.
Walter is also in the chat. P. Cola and Sophie are with us as well. Walter says, hi, Travis. Hi, Daphne. AEW Dynamite tonight. Daphne, good news. I want bingo today. Okay, at 9 p.m. I'm going. I'll be here Monday and Raw. Friday is movie night for Raw, but Friday is movie night. Woo. Cool, Walter. You won bingo. What did you win? Did you win snacks or did you win gift cards? Picola says, happy hump day, Gabbers. And Sophie says, hi, how are you? With EO winning on Monday, I saw a lot of mixed reactions to it. Like, some people loved it and some people hated it.
Yeah. I think only people that liked it don't understand wrestling.
Sophie says, The Rock is rumored to show up at one of the Raw shows when they do their UK tour. Piccolo says, I think Rick O'Shea would look better in a bow tie. No reasons given. Is it because he's wearing serial killer glasses? Is that why? Every time I see those kind of glasses, all I can think about is Jeffrey Dahmer. Just so everybody's aware. That's what I think of when I see those glasses. On anybody. It doesn't matter who they are.
Anybody watching the Evolve show? Because I cannot find it on Tubi. I have been looking.
Is it only an hour long, or did it say it was starting at 6? Or?
Yeah, our time, yeah. Oh. 8 Eastern. But I've even typed it in to look for it. So, I don't know.
Toby says, did you hear AEW made some sort of deal with Amazon Prime for their pay-per-views?
Oh, hell yeah. No.
No. I didn't hear anything. Question. Is it a deal of pay-per-views where you have to pay extra money to watch them?
Yeah,
if that's the case, then it's not a very good deal for people. Maybe for them, specifically AEW, but definitely not for the people.
Yeah, it'll be like boxing, probably. Since that's what they have that,
Sophie says, I don't get the people that hated Io winning. Rhea will still be part of Mania.
Yeah, I think it'll be a triple threat match. I just don't like it. I think it's a stupid idea.
I look at it as the same thing that Triple H has done with every single time he's been involved in any of this stuff. It's called participation trophies. He literally has made the women's division and the women's championships shit. They mean nothing. They mean absolutely nothing. They literally make it that anybody can have that. Even if you're the most shittiest fucking wrestler on the goddamn fucking roster, you're going to be a winner. And like that tells me you have no pride in what you're doing. Congratulations. I now hate wrestling even more. Bravo. Robbie says, what's cooking or being cooked tonight? Well, supposedly that garbage face Ricochet is giving, cooking what's-his-name Swerve. But I don't think it's working. And he's wearing, serial killer glasses, and it looks terrible. His hat's backwards. I don't know.
Why does he have those weird old glasses on?
Because he thinks he's a serial killer.
I have some of those out in the shop. They're my grandpa's, but they were
safety glasses?
Safety glasses in the old days.
I just know him as Jeffrey Dahmer serial
and they do look like something that Dom wore.
Piccolo says, take this mic out his hands. Sophie says, I'm not 100% sure on the Amazon AEW deal. Yeah, this is great.
So it wouldn't let me search WWE Evolve, but that's the name of it. But I found it.
Oh, well, that's good.
Absolute jackhole. Jesus Christ. Look.
They're like, no, you can't search for stuff by their actual name. You have to use different names.
You had to use just Evolve.
They're like, WWE.
It's not called WWE Evolved. It's called
Evolve.
WWE Evolve.
Just Evolve, but no WWE. Even though we're going to show it as WWE Evolve, it can only be Evolve, just so you know. So it says, I wouldn't be surprised if AEW makes an announcement about their AEW pay-per-views on Amazon tonight on Dynamite at some point.
Uh-oh, did he say he had an important announcement?
I don't remember him saying anything about him having important announcements. So he says, I just saw a little bit of the AEW Amazon pay-per-view deal. Yeah, I'm sure all the details will come out sooner or later.
They're in the pudding.
The proof is.
The proof that they exist is in the pudding.
Always in the pudding. The proof is always in the pudding. People's like, so, I don't know where you get this Evolve show. It's on a free app called Tubi.
Tubi.
It's Tubi TV. You can go to Tubi
It's right
TV and you can then watch it.
And then type it, yeah, and it's free. And then just type in Evolve.
Yeah, the app is free too.
Yeah, everything's free.
I don't even know if you have to sign up for it. You can just go in as a guest too.
You can. I signed up or in because I wanted it to save my preferences,
But you wouldn't have
oh God,
to.
what's he got? It was
The
just stabbing.
Scissors. He's got the scissors.
What's he got?
He's got his scissors too.
Oh Jesus, he just stuck him.
Why did he make sure his hat came off?
Maybe
He forced his hat off on purpose so that could happen.
I didn't see it.
Oh, he did. He went like this. He moved his head like this so the hat would come off so he could get stabbed in the head. Wow, they're not even trying to hide it anymore. That it's all
better
just
than
weird.
last week when Homeboy was punching himself in the face. Or was that 2 weeks ago? At Christopher Daniels.
Pretty sure that was just last week, but it seems like yesterday.
Swerve's house.
So he says, did you see Natalia will be working 2 different promotions in both April and May or June?
Cool.
Promotions.
Maybe she'll stop working WWE eventually and
Sophie
right
says,
off into the
I
sunset.
tried looking up Evolve, but it gives me something else.
On Tubi?
On Tubi itself, you have to be on
Tubi.
Tubi, Tubi.
It's an app.
And then do a search of just the word Evolve.
Yeah, you can't put WWE Evolved.
Sophie says Evolve is so important they put it on a free app like Tubi. They put it on a free app so everybody could watch it, Sophie, because everything else they have their shit on is paid for.
Yeah, they got some dames on there right now.
Charles, you're going to get us popped.
I can't. They only do it by noise. Not
Showing
everybody watches
content.
our shit. Just saying that's how it works.
Yeah, well, let's not try and figure that that's the only way it works.
It'd be cool if they tuned in. We have had AEW in here before.
Yeah, they did come in.
AEW has been on our chat in the past.
Yeah, and then they probably heard that we hated them so badly. And the stupidity of Tony Khan. They were like, oh, we can't have that anymore.
Yeah, Callie Armstrong. Her arms are very strong. She's an Armstrong.
That's how it works. Armstrong.
That one must be bust big. There's bust big and Armstrong.
Oh, because her boobs are so large.
No, they're not.
And in
that
charge.
Big. They're not that big, but they're bigger than everybody else's in there.
It's good to know, sweetie. Hold still, kitty. Blah, 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 blah.
We're watching Days of Our Lives, which there's nothing wrong with. I'm not complaining about their women's division. I'm complaining about their men's division. Hey, they finally did something right, but I guess somebody forgot to tell them that contract signings go at the end of shows.
True.
And then they're always violent. Just like that, but just at the end. It's just like they don't understand the direction the show's supposed to be laid out. They almost have it all right. It's all wrong.
It's all right, but all wrong.
Right.
They just put it all backwards.
Well, some of it that's in the middle should be at the end.
Don't worry, the main events should have been at a beginning, probably, show.
Right.
show starter match.
They're like, all right,
Kidding, I
let's
have
start
no
it out
idea.
with Will Ospreay immediately in a steel cage.
That's the pay-per-view. That's different.
Oh.
That's fine. That's fine. But now they have to have them start this out.
I think
A
there's no
four-way.
crowd. I think it's just wrestling people on the outside.
Maybe. Probably.
All right, we got William Ospreay starting out the show. This is what I'm talking about.
Yes.
They have the idea, they just have it in the wrong order. And then watch, Kyle Fletcher will somehow end up in this match.
Right.
To fight him, you know? Which should be at the end of the show. Speaking of which, there is a pay-per-view for AEW this weekend. Hopefully you guys enjoy it. It's on Sunday.
Oh, gross.
I'll be watching it after my D&D session.
Did he paint himself green? Oh, nope, he didn't. He just literally absorbed the light and his coat's green. So he absorbed light and he literally looked like he had green paint on himself. Weird.
Nice.
These people had said he brought his own pair of scissors. Yep. And so he said Natalia will be working GCW and NWA. Piccolo says, LOL, Yuta getting some spotlight.
What is GCW? Gangster Championship Wrestling?
I don't know, but I know that Chris has come in and said it before too. So he says Disney Plus also does the whole no sharing accounts like Netflix and other streaming services. So my sister found that out last night.
Uh-oh. Yeah,
I've seen a few people show that on their videos lately. Somebody says in New York and some other state they didn't watch NXT because of the president. So he says with the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view poster, they kind of spoiled the John Cena heel turn with him being on the same poster as The Rock and Travis Scott. Oh my god, no way. They put John Cena on there and... Oh, did they show it?
NXT last night?
Oh. There's plenty of other televisions and places that you can go to watch it that aren't consistent with being in the very front room. You could have went downstairs. You could have came in here. You could have been on your phone. You could have watched it anywhere.
I did watch the end of it. I don't even remember what happened, though. Fumble recovery.
Sophie says Game Zone Wrestling.
Oh. Like video game stuff? Dumb. It's GZW?
GC was what they put. I thought it was GCW, but, you know, hey, whatever.
Game Zone?
Game Cone, I'm guessing. I'm kidding. I have no idea, sweetie.
Nice cone wrestling.
Right.
I like, wow, for that reason. I can't look anything up because I'm using my phone as a tool. Because I forgot to find a box to watch Tubi on. Like skin that's more clear after 1 year. And it might bite off your ear. So stay clear.
Game Changer Wrestling is what it is.
Game Changer Wrestling. Hell yeah.
Formerly known as the Jersey Championship Wrestling.
Either way.
It's based in New Jersey.
Sounds dumb.
That sounds so amazing. Like,
is there any top stars in it? I mean, Natalia's going there. Did they crown a champion yet for their like independent wrestling championship belts they had? We do have a commercial, by the way.
So he says, his sister couldn't log into Disney Plus last night because it wasn't her account or something. Yep, that's what happens. Can't share accounts.
How do they know? And how do they know it's not you?
Mm-hmm.
Like you can't watch it on your phone and your house? Because they would have 2 different IP addresses.
Yeah, I don't know how it would work. Piccolo says that's not it at all. I'm partially listening. Sophie says, funny enough, my sister used Disney Plus plenty of times before with no problems, but some reason she had some sort of problem with it last night.
Huh.
Ayla's in the chat says, am I
Ayla.
blocked? What the fuck? Are you?
Why would you be
What'd
blocked?
you do? Who blocked
Who are you
you?
blocked from?
Did you say bad things? Did you say bad things? Did you say bad things? Because sometimes YouTube has a mind of its own and will not post your guys' comments, and I can't see them. So no matter what we've tried to make sure it shows every single comment from everybody so I can read them, it sometimes
Is it on live
doesn't.
chat?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. Pickle says that company is the one with the bank addicted drug robber, LOL Moxley's hero. Feels blocked from what, Ayla? Sophie says, I don't know how streaming services know if you aren't located at home or whatever. It's your IP address.
They go by an IP address, but you should be able to block that.
Ayla says, I'm not seeing my messages on the screen. Figured I'd ask. I said something about John. ... But did you use a bad word? Did you use a derogatory term? Did you...
Are you talking about John Cena? Because that's one of our words that's blocked. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. We do block words.
What?
We have certain words and phrases blocked. No. You're not blocked. Like I said, it probably got just flagged or something. Anyway, Sophie says, I don't know how streaming services know that you aren't the account holder. IP addresses. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, and maybe two people were on at the same time.
That can happen too.
At different addresses, because that will pop you. Because you should be able to travel and get on at a hotel or...
Yeah.
In London, England.
Not the Englands.
England.
Not the Englands.
Yeah.
Not there. Not the Englands.
Oh, look, we got some Will Hobbs out there. He's so powerhouse. He's so hobby.
Oh. It's probably because you said TikTok in your comment.
I doubt it. Try it. Try somebody TikTok.
Thought you should know my TikTok is all about Cena turning into a bad guy. Yeah, that happened.
He's a heel now.
He did it. He became a bad guy. Everybody is all up in arms. Anyways, as she said, it was about John Cena. Aoife's in the chat saying hi to Ayla. Sophie says, Ayla, it seems like it's been a long time since we have seen her here. Ayla says, hey girl, and Aoife says, long time no see, how are you? Ayla's like, I'm not actually here, Sophie, you're imagining this. Aoife's like, Sophie, you're dreaming, wake up. Yeah. We're waiting for all these people to supposedly come out for this 4-way match or whatever they're having.
Yeah. It looks like a 6-man tag team match. Not 4, but 6. The Murder Machines and Mark Davis. Bad Apples out there as well. It's just a terrible grouping. This is some WWE shit. This looks like a small ring too, doesn't it?
That it's small? Nah, it's their normal size, but it's just because there's a whole bunch of people in there. It looks small.
Bigger guys.
Bunch of weird creepies in there. Like that one weird fat guy.
Yeah.
His tag partner or whoever the hell he was at one point.
Yeah. He was part of that weird group. What the hell was the name of that group? Remember?
Who? Which one are we talking about?
Just the Australians. They were called something like H2O or EC3WO.
Him?
A fat guy there, and well, I don't know where Cage is. Is he in there? Yeah, the fat guy over there, and then the guy that's with, what's his name?
Kyle Fletcher?
Kyle Fletcher. They were in a tag team.
Right. That's what I thought you were saying.
Yeah. I just can't remember the name of it.
I don't want to know the name of it personally. I choose to not remember.
Oh, Rick and Rana.
Let's see. Ayla's like, oh, spooky, Sophie. Sophie says, I know with Netflix that you can't be watching the same thing in the same house. Ayla says, I'm doing good. Her, you to Aoife. And Piccolo says, Ghosts of March. Aoife says, I'm good. Nearly done my first year of college. Only 5 weeks left, counting down the days. Haha, get me out of here and back home. 5 weeks is good.
That is awesome.
Good accomplishment. Ayla says, how's college going? And Piccolo says, so Brian Cage lost his clippers, or he just is a hairy hippie now.
Yeah. Something.
Maybe he's not doing any of his,
He just got hit with the Karate Kid.
whatchamacallits right now.
The crane.
Decided that he needed some chestal hairs.
Ooh. Cover up his zits.
Eva says, it's okay. The first semester was definitely a lot better than the second. I'm really struggling with everything now. I just need it to be over at this point.
Oh, no.
Poor Eva. Ayla says, hairy hippie. And Ayla says, oh, so Fat Lisa can say hairy hippie? You just said it. Ayla's like, oh, dang, Eva, don't burn yourself out. Sophie says, this weekend is daylight savings time. Yeah, it's also a UFC pay-per-view if anybody's interested.
It is here. In Europe, it's in 2 weeks, and it's just summer. They just call it summer.
Yeah. Pickle says, oh, Ayla, what in the world? You must have said the most horrifying slang words. She said TikTok. Start. Type in TikTok. I want to see if anybody else can do it. Put it together, too, as one word.
Come
TikTok is spelled with K's, not C's. I was like, I literally didn't. Sophie says, how is watching stuff on Tubi? I think I watched like one thing on Tubi. It's normal. It just looks like regular streaming service stuff.
Oh, God.
People's like, by the way, chicken sighting. Yeah, that guy's out there.
She hit her own tag team partner.
On purpose?
No.
Oh.
Now she's going to lose to the skinny girls.
Aoife says, I'm literally been put into therapy to try and deal with it. I have ADHD, so college is just so hard for me. So it's not fun, but it's okay.
Yeah, you got to find something you're interested in, or it's just kind of blah.
Well, depending on what kind of ADHD you have, too. If you have the type of ADHD where you can't concentrate on stuff, it might be... I don't know. It's hard because you guys are like set to where you're supposed to do certain things and that's all you can do. You would have been better off probably doing some kind of a trade or something if you have ADHD. Like sitting and learning at books and trying to do book learning things. Especially like if you're going to start teaching or anything. Probably isn't going to be as easy for you as something else. Which sucks.
Riptide.
Eva's like TikTok. The big TT. Ayla says it was like TikTok. Eva's like TikTok. Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea why it did it then.
Why don't you try it again?
I don't know, Ayla. Try to post that same comment again. Post the same comment.
The same.
Literally. Exactly the same as you did.
Same spacing.
Like, everything the same and see what happens. I'm just curious to know. It's very strange that it just didn't pop up because there wasn't, like, anything in it that I could see that would flag it. The only thing I was like, well, maybe the TikTok part, but that's weird. Or heel, or bad guy, or I don't know. So it says it sounds like WWE pay-per-views on Peacock might be extending after next year.
Eyelashes like off. It's like
she's like, I don't have an eyelash. Those are fun.
She pulled it off.
That's fun. That's like when What's-Her-Face...
showing it.
That's like when What's-Her-Face is wrestling. I think it was Bianca there for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
She would wrestle and her eyelashes would fall off and they'd be in the middle of the ring and everybody would be like, is that a bug? What's in the ring? It's
definitely a bug.
It's her eyelash. Oh. People's like flip-flop. Sophie says, it sounds like the company that bought WWE announced a deal with Saudi, like a boxing league or something.
Nice.
Piccolo says, I blame it on helicopter parenting. Right? Sophie says, some people have ADHD most of their life. Until they die, right? Sophie, is that how it works? They have ADHD most of their life. That's great. Robbie says, in this world, books ain't the answer. Practical skills are needed. That's what I was saying. And with ADHD, sometimes doing trades are actually way better. Like, it just is a lot easier for somebody with ADHD to do a skill, like a labor skill, rather than a book skill.
You have to figure out what you want first. A lot of people go, hey, I should be a welder because they have this lifestyle and they can buy whatever they want and they make big money.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is you're going to be doing that day after day, hour after hour.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't like doing it, it doesn't matter the lifestyle that it buys you.
Right.
Because you're doing it 8 hours a day and sleeping 8 hours a day. Trust me, you're not going to be playing 8 hours a day.
Ayla. Missed you being in here. At least you give me something to laugh about. Jesus Christ. Because Sophie and some people have ADHD most of their life, right? I'll get to it, but anyways. Robbie says, in this world, books ain't the answer. Skills are needed. And Aoife says, yeah, probably luckily my course is a sports one, so it's a lot of practical stuff, but there's also a lot of work still. People says, here, Robbie. And Aoife says, I should have went to college in the States. Looks so fun.
Yeah.
And Robbie says, Ayla, oh, what in the hell you done? Ayla's like, Sophie, I think ADHD is permanent. And Aoife says, fairly sure you are born with ADHD. Sophie says, John Cena is scheduled for some episodes of SmackDown after Mania. Piccolo says, I have leftover pizza I want to heat up. And Ayla says, it's like Down syndrome. Permanent.
Down syndrome. Got the old syndrome.
It's not the same as Down syndrome. I'm not comparing the two, just saying. But you kind of are comparing them in the sense that they're permanent. So it makes sense.
It's a brain frequency, and it can be changed. You can get over it, but you would have to go into therapy to get over it.
You can get over Down syndrome too, you know?
No, you can't. Not if you have that extra chromosomes up in there.
Sewed up. Oh my gosh. Oh, Aoife says I'm fasting right now. People don't tempt me to get pizza. Oh. Are you fasting? Are you fasting for Lent? Doesn't that start?
Yeah, she's gonna.
Is it? That was
today.
Fat
I think
Tuesday?
Today's Wednesday.
Wednesday.
Yeah, is Lent.
Good.
Today's the first day.
Today's the first day.
Mm-hmm.
Are you fasting, Aoife, for Lent?
Yeah, she's gonna fast for 40 days.
No. No, I just know that they do it for like a day or something before. They have to once they get the ashes on their forehead or something. Robbie says, when you need something fixing or need some help or something, a book isn't going to solve it for you. It depends. If it's a wobbly chair, a book might help.
Right. Or a table with shorter legs.
Sophie says people already predicted John Cena to beat Cody at Mania. That means we are going to have another part-time champion for a while.
That's okay.
Aoife's like, ha 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 ha. Ayla and Sophie says, I don't get the joke. And Ayla's like, it's okay, Sophie. Aoife's like, I'm telling everyone I have Down syndrome now. Oh my god, Aoife. So that reminds me of a video on TikTok that I saw of this lady. And she was sitting in her car and she was talking to the camera. And she was eating and she was talking about something. And she's like, and I tried to tell him that I have Down syndrome. And blah, blah, blah. And then she stopped and she's like, Down syndrome? Down syndrome? I don't have Down syndrome. She's like, dyslexia. I have dyslexia. Dude, fucking up your shit. She's all laughing at herself. That thing was everywhere. People were like, oh my god. It was hilarious.
Got the syndrome.
It was so funny. Oh my goodness. Pico says we are getting canceled tonight. No, we're not. So he says, but some people with ADHD aren't that bad. We're not saying anything bad. Down syndrome is unfortunately, a permanent thing that happens to people. And it's just the process of when they're being made. So unfortunately, they just get an extra chromosome. Happens. Nothing wrong with it. And most people have ADHD. And I'll tell you this much. If people who have ADHD can't make fun of themselves for having ADHD, they need to go to therapy and talk about it.
Oh, chopped him right in the throat.
He's like, I couldn't barely throw him and it fell down after I did it because I'm a loser.
That guy has hips. That fat guy.
That's gross, Travis.
Yeah, he has like saddle pads.
Yeah.
I didn't know men could do that. He must have high estrogen.
Are you telling me that he looks like Will Ospreay? Because Will Ospreay has that problem. It looks so creepy. I can't stand it.
Well, Will Ospreay
his body type
covers
creeps
it,
me the fuck out.
Yeah, but he covers his. That's it. The phenomenal forearm.
His womanly wiles.
But that other guy literally had full-figured woman disease.
Thanks, Travis.
That's
now we're
permanent.
a disease. Now we're a disease. Great. Oh, Aoife's like, homie with an extra chromie. Exactly. It was like, I'm sorry. Aoife's like, I'm doing Lent. Yes. Aww. What are you giving up for Lent? Piccolo says, oh, are you allowed to tell? Like, some people don't talk about it. So.
Well, you don't want to talk about it because then you'll give it up. Or won't.
Piccolo says, oh, yeah, Lent. It was like, they're that bad, Sophie. ADHA equals jail. Piccolo says, I'm giving up blow and hookers for 40 days and 40 nights. Wish me luck. Dang it, Piccolo. I know that's going to be so hard on you. Especially with your neighbors and stuff. I mean, come on.
Like little mints or chocolates or something, not prostitution. Cocaine.
A lady I worked with, you know what she gave up for Lent all the time? Coca-Cola. She'd stop drinking soda for a whole
month and a half.
Month. Mm-hmm.
Dear God.
Oh, yeah.
I did that over 19 years ago. It's creepy to think that it's been that long since I've had
an actual Coke.
Coca-Cola.
Like a full-blown Coca-Cola. Robbie's like, yeah, Ayla, it's not the same good one, LOL. Aoife says I'm fasting for 72 hours and then I'll just be really healthy or something.
Yeah.
That's how it goes. He'll be really healthy. So healthy.
It's very good for you.
It's actually not that bad for you. Just make sure you drink water and don't drink alcohol.
Yeah, 72 hours is a good one.
Sophie says, oh, that's right. Today is the first day of Lent where people usually give up stuff or do stuff for 40 days. It looks like ADHD is bad. Ted Bundy definitely had Down syndrome. Fuck. Is that why he was so charismatic? Aoife says, Sophie, I was actually arrested when I was 5 for assault. Who the fuck you assaulting at 5? Your teacher? Did you bite them? It was like, now we're getting canceled. Glad I could help.
Oh.
Sophie says some people take Lent very seriously. They give up food or desserts. Yes, a lot of people give up lots of different things for Lent.
I watched a documentary one time, and this guy gave up masturbation and sex. And he was addicted to it. He did it for 40 days and 40 nights.
Pickle says, oh my. And Robbie says, oh, it's all the same condition. It looks like it's a spectrum. Pickle says, I'm on the spectrum, I feel.
The sad part is
I'm on a spectrum reading this chat.
1, 2, and 3.
Oh, that guy
the
got
bad
pinned
apple
by that guy with his weird
pinned.
haircut. Why does he have such a weird haircut? So weird.
That's how they do it in England.
He's from England? I thought he was Australian or something.
Mm-mm.
Is he the English one?
Mm-hmm.
Huh. Oh, yeah, he's the weirdo that talks like he's from Liverpool.
Bruv.
So he was like, remember when Ayla wasn't in the room? Yeah, it was boring. Eva says, oh, Ayla, I wouldn't take that. It was like, I have ADHD, probably. Yeah, it was boring, Sophie.
Uh-oh. Poor Will. This is gonna crush him. Oh. This is when they knew they fucked up. I'm just kidding. They're trying to make this fat guy relevant, and it's weird.
Yeah, it is very weird. It was like, yeah, it was boring, Sophie. And then Piccolo says, haha, and Eva says, you could, Ayla, because it's so common in women, usually goes undiagnosed too. Robbie says, Ayla, you're getting canceled. It's probably for the best. Ayla says, everyone ignores Sophie when I'm here, boo. Sophie says, when Ayla wasn't in the room, we were on good behavior. Oh, not the good behavior. Good behavior's boring. Eva says, who's that, Ayla? Ayla's like, probably Eva. I wouldn't doubt it, especially if it's genetic. Robbie says, why is it always give up chocolate for Lent? Because people are addicted to it. And
Because
it's a vice they can give up for 40 days.
It's something that you don't need to survive as a human being. Mm-hmm. And that's kind of what you're trying to give up. You don't give up air or nutrients.
Piccolo
or
says,
water.
Yes. Piccolo says, I would say cheese would be a good thing to give up. Not the cheese.
Yes, cheese would be a fantastic thing to give up.
I think I might die.
You couldn't go 40 days without cheese.
I might not be able to. I couldn't have tacos. Ugh. I couldn't sprinkle Parmesan cheese on my spaghetti. I couldn't have lasagna.
For 40 days.
40 days.
You haven't had lasagna in 40 days.
That's a long time
you
not
haven't
to have
had
cheese.
Lasagna in 40
You
days.
gotta have cheese.
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 Didn't we throw you in a dumpster once? I got out. Ayla says, I don't know, Aoife never knew. And Sophie says, my aunt gave up desserts for Lent, like cake and stuff. Kyle Fletcher's like legit needs to go to WWE. Either that or they need to start pushing him hardcore in this company and make him a mega star.
Yeah.
The only problem with him is he has an accent.
Ayla's like, I suffer from the tism. And Aoife says, risen with the tism. Sophie says, who would give up watching wrestling for Lent? That will be history.
That's us.
I want to give it up.
Can
we do that for Lent? You don't even know what's happened. You can't even look at it on your phone.
Wait, when does Lent end? Would it be after Mania or before? It'd be after, huh?
Probably. I don't know.
That would be crazy time to take off. Come back after Mania.
What happened, everybody?
All right, I haven't read TikTok. I've been on social media. You give up social media for Lent.
Yeah.
That'd be a good one. Robbie
says, Dawn really showing us tonight. Yeah. Aoife says, I told my mother I'm just giving up for Lent. Oh, don't say that, sweetie. Ayla says, this chat room is proof we're all a little special. Sophie says that Ayla usually shows up randomly anyway. Ayla's like, the F is Lent. Ayla's like, well, Sophie, I do have a life. And Ayla's like, good behavior, boring behavior.
Who asked about Lent? Ow.
Ayla did, but Aoife can answer. It's like when Jesus was in the desert for 40 days or something. Yeah. It's a Catholic thing. I never actually do it, but this year I was like, sure, may as well try.
Shattered that chair. Yeah, that's what Mardi Gras is. Mardi Gras is your get
party
out
before.
And just party your guts out so you can
give up whatever you're giving up.
Give up your vice for 40 days. 40 days and 40 nights is how long Jesus was in the desert.
There you go. Robbie says the chat has blown up tonight. Wonder who could have made that happen. Gosh, I don't know. It looks like you miss me, Sophie. You love me, you freaky bitch. Sophie says it'll be interesting if someone goes to a party and has stuff like they give up for Lent. Yeah, they just have to have self-control. Ayla says, oh, right on, Aoife, I could not. Robbie says I gave up AEW pay-per-view for Lent. Me too. Aoife says, Sophie, remember when you were crying last week because you missed Ayla? Ayla's like, aw, Sophie. And Aoife says, I defo won't keep to it, Ayla, but I'll try. Well, like we said, it just depends on what you gave up, you know? I mean, it doesn't have to be big things, you know?
I like the idea of giving up prostitutes and cocaine myself.
Me too. Like, I mean, that's a good one. Definitely could keep to that one. Might have to start using them afterwards. But, you know, I mean...
if I make it.
Why not try it?
I like to quit things that I never started.
There you go. That's a good.
It's
one too.
way easier.
That's true. It's true.
Like any powder drug.
Pico says, "Who's shrieking in the crowd for Big Willie?" I don't know. I wasn't looking. Robbie says, "This match is long. It's over."
It's done.
Ayla says, "Willpower is a good thing to have." Eva says, "It ends on Easter Sunday."
I know, but I don't know when Easter is
When
this year.
Jesus resurrected. I don't know.
Wait, hold on. Doesn't it end on Good Friday?
Good Friday is the day that it ends. April 18th is Good Friday. People says, Good Friday, let me see.
That is the day before WrestleMania. WrestleMania is the 19th. It's actually, and then the 20th, and Easter is the 20th.
Oh.
So we could.
Literally, we could. Okay,
yeah.
Bye, everybody.
Sorry, we're not supposed to be here. We broke Lynn already, but we're going to start now. We'll see you at WrestleMania Night 1.
So he says, my aunt does random things for Lent every year. Like one time she helped with charity. It is like New Year's resolutions. People go back on it like the day. People says Friday, April 18th, that's when Lent is over. Then Sunday is the resurrection.
Yeah.
Robbie says, I have self-control. I do. So he says, I never do Lent. And Ela says, I will never give up the hookers. Eva says, I should know that, people. Sophie says that some people regret what they give up for Lent. Maybe.
Didn't Jesus die on like April 3rd or something?
Something like that. Robbie says, so in this chat, are any of you
3rd.
actually Christian?
1933. That'd be Catholic. But yeah, Christian just means that you believe in Christ.
Ayla says, nothing in my nose for 40 days, but I'm still smoking. Sophie says, WrestleMania is on day 2 of Mania. Ayla says, I'm atheist, Robbie. Robbie's like, Eva, shame on you for not knowing. Sophie says, I meant WrestleMania is on Easter Sunday this year. That's a first. Eva's like, I'm going to hell, Robbie. Aren't we all?
I need to watch this.
We're all going to get on the bus with you. It's fine. It's fine.
With
Not
the short
heretic.
bus?
It's the bus to hell. We're all on it.
Yeah, there's a highway to hell and only a stairway to heaven, so we're all going.
Exactly. I can't walk upstairs anymore, so the bus sounds great. On a highway. I'm doing it.
Right.
Highway sounds like smooth
highway to
sailing.
Hell stairway to heaven, so.
Definitely not getting up that.
Look, it takes a lot of exercise to get up that road.
Rob is like, Ayla, really? That's cool. And then Ayla says, I don't know if it's cool, just critical thinking. Ayla says, I made a reservation for hell. Rob says, Aoife, at least you will be warm in hell. No. So he says, Mania on Easter Sunday, that'll be interesting to see how that messes everyone's Easter dinner plans.
They'll probably watch.
Oh my God, it's going to mess up everything.
Nobody's missing WrestleMania for Easter. Just saying.
And besides, you just eat earlier in the day. It's
right.
Just eat at noon.
Can you imagine?
You don't
like,
eat at
you're in a new
6.
relationship, and she's like, "Hey, come meet my family on Easter and have dinner and everything." And you're like, "Awesome," because you don't think about it. And they're like, "WrestleMania," and you're like, "What?" It's on. Oh, you gotta be shitting me. Especially if you had tickets.
Mm-hmm.
You'd be like,
I would love to meet your family, but I just spent $6,000 on these tickets to go to this event. I'm going.
Don't love me.
You're right, ma'am. I do not.
Well, I don't love you for that.
It looks like my hips don't work so well. Eva says I'm ginger, so I'll probably end up with 3rd-degree burns. It's not the sun. It's just fire. It's fine. Kayla's like, true,
We're all
Eva,
gonna end
you
up
and my
with the
mom.
burns.
Rob is like, Eva, Irish and ginger, you lucked out there, bud. And Eva says, we can team up with all the gingers and overthrow whoever runs hell. It's probably all the rest of the gingers, Eva, because you guys have no souls. Remember? You weirdos. It was honestly, Robbie, God really did not love me. Aww. That's sad. Don't say things like that. It was like, Rob is short and fits in a suitcase. Lucky.
I guess a lot of people fit in suitcases. I didn't realize
Travis
how popular
learned this
it
by
was.
watching, murder shows. How
People
many
just-
people fit in suitcases now?
Like, they just cut people up and throw them in a suitcase. And I'm not just talking about the one in South America. It's kind of like a normal thing. Who the fuck figured this out? Like, oh, we have to get rid of this.
I'm pretty sure the mafia did it a long time
Let's throw it in the suitcase. Put some rocks in it and throw it in the water.
So he says, I wouldn't be surprised if we see more WWE pay-per-views end up on more holidays in the future. Well, it's bound to happen at some point, Sophie.
What they need to do is move Elimination Chamber. Is that what it's called? No. Survivor Series, the double ring match, whatever that was called. War Games to Thanksgiving, like it used to be. That would be sick. Although they would be competing against the NFL, but I still think it would work. They compete against the NFL anyways. Unless, I guess not if they do it on Saturday. There could be a Saturday game that late in December.
Yeah. So he says, I wonder if...
Never mind. They wouldn't.
I wonder if the WWE had an idea that when they booked Mania, it would be on Easter weekend.
I'm sure they knew.
I'm sure they knew. And it says, sorry, Ravi fits in a carry-on suitcase. And Ravi says, Aoife, I can imagine you to be the same like Sheamus. Aoife says, is my soul in a suitcase? Could do with it. Ha ha ha. People says to see you watch the new Dexter too. Aoife says, wow, I'm not the type of ginger. Sophie says, WWE Raw will take place on St. Patrick's Day. Ray says, Ayla, yeah, you know how it goes. You're not a pasty white ginger like Shamey. You're a different type of ginger. Ayla's like, flights are free for you. He just puts himself in a carry-on. Just has somebody roll him through.
Make sure he's under the weight limit and just... There you go.
So he says WWE Raw will be in Brussels on St. Patrick's Day. Weird place to be on St. Patrick's Day. They should have went to Ireland. What are they thinking? Aoife's like more of a brown ginger. Oh! Not the pale flaming kind then, huh?
That means you have a soul. Oh god, we got Wheeler Yuta in here with fucking Edge.
Oh, good lord. It's going to be a very long, terrible match.
This is as mid-card as you can get. And Adam Copeland, or Cope, or whatever they call him nowadays, is an official mid-carder.
It was like tan ginger. My older brother is a Mexican ginger. Wild. Aoife says, I am pale, but that's what fake tan is for. Robbie says, Edge just stopped wrestling. And Vindicator's in the chat.
That's
hey, Vin. Says, how's it going, Gabville? So y'all favorite wrestler Yuta is going to get this big win tonight, huh?
No.
Yeah, he's so going to get a win. I'm surprised he came back from being chopped in the head with a chair.
This is a, as of right now, a moral victory for him because the match has already lasted way too long. So yes, it is a victory for him.
Sophie says it would be interesting when they announce the dates of the pay-per-views after Mania. And Robbie says, fake tan, what a great look. For some people it works out. Some people it doesn't. I've seen them. They look very jaundicey.
Yeah, don't get the yellow tinted one.
Aoife says, we also get Zero Sun here and surprised we aren't all dead from vitamin D deficiency.
That's why your skin's so white.
That's why your skin's so pale.
It's actually why white people exist.
Yep. Sophie says, how is WWE Evolve? How is it, Travis?
It's okay.
Since you've been watching some of
I have.
it.
I mean, this is there's only been 2 matches, and it looks like this is going to be over pretty soon.
Vindicator says, and what's this? Ayla and Aoife back in the chat at the same time. I've been transported into the Twilight Zone. Right? Aoife says, my fake tan is actually natural, Robbie, unlike some people who have orange tan. Or yellow. I've seen them where they look like they have jaundice. Eva says, did you see the Rhea promo after Raw?
Nothing after. No.
No.
Did she quit? That'd be cool.
Eva says, I know, right, Vin? It's like the older days. Eva says, on this episode of The Twilight Zone, ADHD is similar to Down syndrome.
Uh-oh. Snapmare. Oh, we have some ladies still to come tonight. I'll watch that match every day this week. Penelope
Presented
Ford
by Queen of the Ring.
and that other girl, Megan Bain.
Megan Bain.
Max Caster, open challenge. She'll lose again. What is this all about? Like, hey, I have an idea. Why don't you let me just challenge people and I'll lose every time?
Right. Sophie says David Arquette is scheduled to appear in the next Scream movie.
Hell yeah.
Sophie says WWE now has its own podcast for After Raw. And Eva is laughing at Ayla's comment. Vindicator says, good times, Eva, although two girls whose name starts with A is one too many. Scram, Ayla. Can't make her go away. She brought life to the party. But she has to go because she's got kids and stuff. So she says.
I've got kids.
That's right. She says it. Ayla says, okay, I have to go. Kids and BS night, guys. I'll try to come back next time.
Friday.
Aoife says, ha ha ha, Ben. Aoife says, night, Ayla. And Sophie says, it sounds like they are bringing back all the characters that died in the last 6 Scream movies will be in Scream 7.
That's a good idea. Bring
What
back the death.
Fuck.
Maybe it's turning zombie.
That sounds dumb. Sounds very dumb on another scale of dumb.
Reincarnation.
I guess.
So think about how crazy this is.
Mm.
You ready?
Okay.
The Egyptian pharaohs
Mm-hmm.
mummified themselves, or people of importance.
Okay.
Put themselves in a tomb, right? You following?
Still did it. John Cena is all about my TikTok. That's hilarious that it still did that, yeah.
That's funny. So, anyways, how they did it is they dehydrate their body super fast when they're dead, so they get rid of the water.
Mm-hmm.
So, anyways, they're not far away from being able to clone them with our technology that we have now. So they preserved their DNA so they could be reincarnated later. And literally, it could happen.
Interesting. That's what the ancient alien people told you?
Well, it's the facts. You don't have to tell me that. Like, they pointed out that it could happen. So if we clone one of the ancient pharaohs, it would be bringing them back. It'd be a resurrection.
Mm.
That's kind of crazy if you think about it. I mean, it wouldn't be their soul or however that shit works, but they would be animated with life. They wouldn't remember who they were.
Right.
But if you taught them, would they be the leader of Egypt? It would be their land.
Yeah, I don't know how that would come about or what they would do with that.
That'd be crazy as fuck. Still cool though, to think that 7,000 years ago, 5,000 years ago, they were thinking about that.
Mm-hmm. I don't know if they really were, but
they weren't really thinking, hey, like in the future they're going to be able to use my body and bring me back, but they were. Like, oh, we're going to be reborn, so let's preserve our body for when we come back. They didn't realize that it was just to save some DNA to be brought back. That's crazy.
I don't know. I guess it just depends on how you look at it. If they really thought something like that.
Well, why do you think they preserve their bodies? Their whole belief system was that they were going to come back.
Then why did they have their helpers and their certain wives and stuff and cats and stuff dead with them? Why'd they kill them to put them with them?
I don't know if Egypt did
Why
that.
did
They
they
might
need
have. I don't know.
They did.
I know that the
so why
Vikings
did they do that?
And I know that the Chinese did. But I
Yeah,
don't know.
the Egyptians did the same thing.
Yeah, and then they probably
So
did.
why did they do that?
Well, so they could come back together, maybe.
So it says David Arquette character died in the last Scream movie, though. Vindicator says Daria consumed by that mom life now. So it says they're making a Last Friday movie. One of the stars of the Friday movies confirmed it today. It was Drake's first WWE show on Saturday, which is kind of surprising.
Drake, like the rapper.
I guess. I have no idea who they're talking about. Who Drake is, like which Drake they're talking about. Anyways, Andres is in the chat. Andres Gaming, like losers.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Wheeler Yuta, totally.
Yeah, he's
loser.
one of the biggest losers on the planet.
Vindicator's like, nah, this is not a WWE stream, Andres. Or are you really Andrade? He was upset his ex-wife is getting title shot at Mania and not you. Maybe. That's probably a Vindicator.
His ex getting more play. Hey, they keep putting him on TV, though.
That's true. Andres is like, this guy is retarded.
Are we talking about Wheeler Yuta?
He kind of is. He does have a little bit of special needs.
He might have that syndrome. We were just talking about the
extra chromosome. Sophie says
like
Stone Cold Steve Austin is rumored to show up for this Mania. This is his Make-A-Wish. This has been his Make-A-Wish life so far.
Right.
He's like, John Cena wouldn't do it for me, so I came to AEW.
Ugh. Wheeler Yuta pretending that he knows how to wrestle. And Cope kicks out.
Sophie says Stone Cold Steve Austin is rumored to show up for this Mania. I wouldn't be surprised if Andrade makes Mania. Interesting.
Maybe he'll wrestle Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Maybe he'll wrestle Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Austin's got to wrestle somebody.
I mean, might as well be Andrade. Why not? Throw him in there.
Maybe they'd be Kevin Owens
I think they should
again.
just have everybody. They should just pull everybody out of the back and be like, all right.
Everybody
gets a fucking WrestleMania moment, you little bastards. Participation trophies for all of you.
We're going to call it a gauntlet match.
Triple H is going to throw out the whole Oprah crap. You get a match. You get a match. You get a match.
You should get matches. Get out there. Get out there.
Bronson says Mike Myers and Eddie Murphy play Shrek and Donkey, of course. They're both known for playing multiple characters. What are your thoughts on them playing multiple characters and using different voices?
I mean, Mike Myers is very, very well known for doing that. And then obviously Eddie is too, so I don't really have a problem with it. I just hope they're not doing it to save money, because then that comes out as weird.
Yeah, it is. So if it says most of Cena's fans are now adults.
Yeah. I mean, R-Truth, look at him.
I mean, yeah,
he grew up watching
He was
Cena.
a fan before John Cena was even John Cena. It was crazy.
He was a John Cena fan before John Cena was born.
Exactly. Pico says again with the inflated rumors. What? Not the inflated rumors. Pico. There's no such thing.
If you heard it on Twitter, it's real. They can't lie on there. Uh-oh, here comes Cope.
Oh gosh, he's getting up.
So, you know Cope was supposed to be Val Venus? Like, that was supposed to be his character. Yeah, to be the porn star guy. Come out in the towel.
Oh. But he didn't want to do it?
No, they had the plans for him to do it, and I don't know why it never worked out. He went a different direction, and Val Venus was the prostitute, whatever you call it, the porn star. Hello, ladies. Uh-oh. Spear!
Vindicator says,
not
wrestling. That I care, and it might be the most disgusting match ever. But Travis, who do you have winning? Spawn versus Bratton.
Oh, Charlotte has to win that. I think that... I mean, honestly, they could have Tiffany lose before Mania. I think she's been exposed. I like Tiffany, but too early. They did it too early. And I wasn't sure if it was. I just didn't realize that she was so unpolished. Yeah.
They should have, let her keep that money in the bank a little bit longer. Piccolo says hopefully Hugh Hefner comes back from the dead and makes a match with all the former divas turned playmates.
Oh my god.
Right?
Now somebody has the right answer right there. What is Wheeler doing?
Oh, he's shaking his hand because he's a weirdo.
Slap him in the face.
Oh, Jesus.
Now smack him in the face. Oh god, they're gonna try to turn Wheeler Yuta into a baby face. Look at him, he looks confused. They don't treat me like that in my gang.
Yeah.
My gang's mean to me.
My gang treats me like poo-poo.
Push me around and make me do bad things.
Even though I'm part of a trios group that we haven't had to fight anything for, but we still have those titles and now they're irrelevant. Pickle's like, oh, I was confused. Oh, Stratton. We knew who he was talking about.
Old Stratton.
Old Stratton.
Uh-oh. Smack him. Smack him, John.
Tell him what a big fat loser he is.
This is
How dare he turn his back on you?
This is actually what respect looks like. It's when you bleed for the company. It's when you bleed for your company. Uh-oh. It's getting lippy. Getting lippy.
Not the lippies.
Come on, John. Show this young boy where to go.
Not the lippiness. Ooh, he's leaving in a huff.
He needs to put him in his place. It's like Canada and the U.S.
Me. Don't touch me. Stop hitting yourself. Stop hitting yourself.
Okay. It's Canada and the U.S. I just thought about what you said earlier. Jason.
Come back here, little bitch. I'll show you where
Remember when you
respect
pushed
means.
my face?
Remember when you got in my face, said stuff? Bronson says for Mike Myers, if it's the Love Guru, then no. If it's Austin Powers, then yes. Same with Eddie Murphy. If it's Norbit, then no. If it's a Nutty Professor, then yes.
Wasn't he the woman, too, in Norbert?
Yes.
His mom or whatever it was?
His girlfriend. He was his own girlfriend.
Is that who? Was it a girlfriend? I thought it was his mom
Yeah,
for some reason.
his wife, basically.
Yeah, that's right.
Vindicator says Stratton is a total brat, so she is Bratton. LOL, only the Nepo cunt Flair is worse, though. If it wasn't Cena, Hill turn Mania would be garbage this year.
Yeah, it's definitely not thought out. I think they just kind of go in with it, making it up as they go.
It looks about like what AEW does, so in all reality, you should love it. Piccolo says, can't believe he shook a Canadian hand. Ew.
I know.
Throw up. This guy's a weirdo. Just so you know. This guy.
Yeah, he talks a little too much.
He's a fucking weirdo. There is no rush.
There's no respect in this business. No R-E-S-B-E-C-T.
Was that only an hour?
Yeah.
Huh. Figured it was, but...
Olivia Wilde just showing up in her underwear.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people were saying. She just wore her lingerie.
Well, you said they were saying it. I was showing you.
I did see pictures of it at the time that somebody was yakking about it, was all.
Still has a pretty face. Even though she's old. First time I ever saw her in a movie, I didn't realize that it was her. Because she wasn't as pretty. But the first time I saw her and I was like, who is that? Like, is that a new actress? was in year 1.
Mm-hmm. Right?
Look at this videos.
1987.
Montage. Gold's gym shirt.
That's funny.
This is some Hulk Hogan stuff right here. Come on. Training in the concrete jungle.
Vindicator says, but if Cena goes back to Thugonomics, I may actually pop back into WWE stream here and there. Bronson says Eddie plays 3 characters in Norbit. He plays Norbit, his wife, Rasputia, and Mr.
Gotcha.
Wong, who is the owner of the orphanage where Norbit grew up. Vindicator says, but for my brand, AEW, Revolution is looking good again this year, aside from Swerve versus Rico, because Rico is not World Championship contender material yet. Maybe ever.
Rico's
Vindicator says, and these outrunners are really tired of these Hogan Macho Man wannabes, so out of touch.
I love it. Absolutely love it. I honestly want to do our intro to this show.
Like that. 1987 montage. Wrestling montage. Feels like rocking the Zubas sweats. Bronson says Eddie Murphy.
Square TV, the 3.4 shit.
Eddie Murphy. Bronson says Eddie Murphy is Norbit and Rasputia is like Adam Sandler as Jack and Jill.
Uh-oh, there's a car coming. How funny is that? Oh, it's actually him. Nobody else knew they would have been back there. Uh-oh.
What a loser.
They're coming in hot.
Sophie says every time Rhea and Io fight, Io always beats her, and Bianca has an undefeated Mania streak to worry about. And it looks like they are turning Rhea heel again with the way Raw ended. Wait, was she all of a sudden a good guy for a second? That's weird. I don't remember ever being really a good guy.
Yeah, because what's her name was the bad guy, Liv. It was just assumed. Is that even MJ? Yeah.
Oh, it is. That would have been... It's not even him. I was like, wondering. I don't even think it is him. What are
he made
doing?
me do it.
He made me do it. He's like, who are you?
Oh, from behind! He just clubbered him in the back of the neck. That'll cripple you. That kid's sitting up there like, why are they beating him up, Dad? It's fine, son. Violence is okay.
Pico says that would be his stupid car. Sophie says, I like how the WWE became unpredictable in the past 72 hours. It blew up everyone's Mania predictions.
I don't feel like it did. We knew that we were going to get Cena, right? It was either Cena or Punk.
Yes.
And it came down to those two.
Yep. And then it was, how are they going to play this? Because you knew Cody wasn't going to give up his soul. So they had to do something. So making Cena a bad guy, okay, makes sense.
Yeah, but it still doesn't change anything. That
no,
match
it doesn't.
Still happening.
And then Rhea losing her
belt to a jobber.
Total
stupid.
Triple H crap. Nothing new there. Same shit, different day. So I don't know. It really doesn't pull up any of the predictions, really. Bronson says Tom Hanks plays 6 characters in Cloud Atlas.
Huh.
Piccolo says you didn't catch the Spaceballs. You captured their stunt doubles.
Yes.
Nice.
Love it.
Oh, Sophie says, did you hear Cora Jade might be injured again?
No.
What? Not Cora getting injured again.
Hopefully it's not a pectoral muscle.
Did one of her boobies pop? I've seen that happen to somebody before.
Charlotte.
Exactly. Miss Shar. Miss Shar.
MJ. Put him to sleep, MJ.
People's like, now I've seen everything. MJF has a doppelganger.
Yeah. Well, he isn't a very big guy, so almost anybody with brown hair that's under 5'5".
Just put him in a weird suit with a
scarf.
But
it's not this scarf anymore. It's now a black scarf. or gray.
It's not a Burberry. It's different.
It's the same print. It's just different color.
Yeah. Vindicator says Maxwell copying Owens with messages across his shirt. Better be careful. He maybe end up battered and bruised like Owens too. Pickle says we have to save the memories. Mean manatees.
Yeah. I guess the manatee is actually trying to be a wrestler. I guess she did try to be a wrestler originally, and then they put her as an announcer. But that's her whole thing. She wants to just wrestle. That's why she's not doing the announcing.
It's a manatee?
Uh-huh. Oh, I know. He's going to light him on fire.
I don't know. I guess. Is he? That's nice. Maybe you should start him on
Looks
fire.
like a candle lighter fluid.
Did he say it was a heat seeker?
It is.
I'm gonna fall off.
Our security is knocked out. There's like one guy's gone. Oh no!
Oh God! Why did they come in?
They're trying to save him from burning the other guy alive.
Why would they do that? I feel like they should just let him get burned.
I feel like they should mind their own business.
Mm-hmm.
Let me prove my point. It's like the worst argument for burning somebody alive ever. Ever. So why'd you want to burn him alive? I was trying to prove a point. I just wanted to prove my point.
I don't blame him. That's
What
why I
was
want to
your-
burn people alive.
What's your point? That you're like Jesus? I'm Old Testament, bitch. Start him on fire. Let me prove my point. I mean, let's not pretend that Paige didn't try to run him down with his truck earlier.
Yeah, he had hate in his heart.
He was trying to run down Renee Kelly or whatever her name is too. Renee
Pasquale.
Pisquez.
Pasquale.
Parquette or whatever her name is. Paquette. Pasquale sounds way better. Either way, try to kill both of them on the outside. We forget that so quick. He was just trying to get vengeance.
Mm-hmm.
Prove his point. It's called self-defense. Every time that guy's awake, he's trying to kill MJF.
Yep.
And Renee Paquette. With a truck with antlers on it. And yes, I know they're horns. It sounds cooler if you say antlers.
Antlers.
Makes it sound like you don't exactly know what you're talking about. But you still do know what you're talking about. Leopold probably wants some of your chocolate. So is this new? Is that why they keep showing this? I swear this was an old show.
I don't know. It looks really old, so new.
Heretic. This
Heretic.
Friday. Is it a series?
I don't know, sweetie.
Did I ask that last time it was on?
Maybe. I don't know the answer, though. And if we knew the answer, then I still don't know the answer, so.
Why do they have all this stuff about Kobe?
People says, let's barbecue this millennial redneck. Bronson says, I would have loved to see Robin Williams play multiple characters and use different voices in a live-action movie.
But interesting. I liked him in Fern Gully, so I'm sure he could have done pretty good.
I mean, he kind of was in Mrs. Doubtfire. He
Yeah,
played two characters.
He played two parts in Doubtfire.
Not catastrophic.
Yeah, total god. Catastrophic. Harley Quinn, Medicine Woman. Cool. One last time. Is it a prayer pod?
Squirt ears. Gross.
What is it?
He said we refer to them as squirt yurts. Pico says, no fair, I was getting the marshmallows prepared. Pico also says, Renee Dupree. Right? Robbie says, great matchups tonight. Hassan Terrell's in the chat. Hassan says, hi there, guys. Guess what?
What?
Evolve on Tubi Network on my phone was good.
I watched it as well on my phone. That women's match was surprising. I thought that other team would win. Even though I don't really know either of them. Don't know anybody on the whole show, actually. Now, are those the people that are on the LFG show? Or are these people that are past the LFG show? It's not bad looking. Got a weird cross tattoo just on her forearm, just randomly. She's like, I'm gonna be one of those tattoo girls and just have tattoos all over me.
You're one of those classy ladies. You got a butterfly.
I have dollar signs like a normal fucker. Whatever she says. Look, that girl literally killed the snake and put it on. Who's this guy? Who's that guy? Have you ever heard of him or seen him?
No, I have no idea who the fuck this person is. Pico says, I'm just trying to get pancakes, but vengeance may fill me up too. Not vengeance.
She's not even posing. I was waiting for like Magnum or Blue Steel or something. Uh-oh, here it is. Ladies. Hello, ladies. What a terrible high five. And here comes Thunder Tushy.
Thunder Tushy. Robbie says, I'm sure snake meat is decent to eat. I heard it tastes like chicken.
I have had snake before. It's okay. It's weird. It was rattlesnake.
I think that's what my mom had too. It was rattlesnake. She's had bear.
Yeah, I've had bear.
Rattlesnake.
She
said the bear was kind of weird. She's like, if it was hot, it wasn't bad, but the minute it cooled down even a little bit, she thought it was so fatty and disgusting.
That's very bad.
She said it was like eating mutton when it got cold.
All right, here comes the supermodel, Penelope 4. Keep your eyes peeled on this match. I was just about ready to leave. I gotta settle in.
What were you going to leave for? Where were you going?
Out.
Why?
Garbage to throw away.
Is that the only reason why? You could just put that in your pocket.
I don't want to. I want to leave. But I'm going to stay for a little bit. No reason.
It hasn't even started. You could always leave now. Are you leaving forever, though?
Mm-mm. Look at her headpiece. Look at her chest piece. Megan. What the fuck is Thunder Rosa?
She's like, I want to make myself look hideous.
How can I make myself look the absolute worst? We're going up against Bombshells, by the way. Or at least one, and then in half. How can I make myself look unlookable? Like, where no one would want to even look at me. Ooh, I have an idea. Let's make the shorts shorter than they are tall.
They're taller than they are short.
Yeah.
Not shorter than they are tall.
Yeah. Same thing, isn't it?
I don't think so.
It feels like it comes out, right? Shorter than they are tall. Alright, come on, Bane.
Piccolo says, how in the world is Statlander 7320? That's ludicrous. Robbie says, I've been told it tastes like chicken. Keep on licking. If it tastes like trout, get the F out. That's gross, Robbie. Vindicator says
sounds
it's still...
disgusting because it sounds perverted, but I did have some trout the other day, and I love trout.
I think he's saying perverted in
I know.
perverted ways. Vindicator says, I still think AEW needs a women's tag team titles. Yeah, along with all the other titles they have.
What the hell? No.
Maybe they could give them both to that stupid quitter bitch that's on here.
They don't have enough women to do tag teams, for fuck's sake.
She could have herself as her partner, just have... You don't like that cooter shot?
No.
There's some more of it. There's a big old cooter shot right there.
I don't like that she has a big old cooter. Oh, damn. One-legged kick. Come on, Penelope.
They could have Harley Cameron play the other person in the Quitters tag team.
Mm-hmm.
Just bring the puppet out, and the puppet could be her tag team partner.
That's her manager?
No.
Oh, she's both?
Harley Cameron doesn't exist. Just the puppet.
Oh.
So that they could have, because Vindicator's saying they need a women's tag team title. Right. So I said, oh, so the Quitter could get them both? Mm-hmm. That's the only way she could, right? Because she'd have to have them with her partner, and her partner could be herself.
Right.
That's Travis awesome. Is too interested in the cooter.
No, not that one.
Chris is in the chat. Hey, Chris says, hey guys, did you see last night on NXT Cora Jade got injured? Probably because she was on her knees as usual.
Oh, shit.
Why is Thunder Rosa dressed like Mike Santana tonight?
I know, and it's terrible looking. I bet you Santana would wear that better than she looks.
She's like, I really want to wear high-waisted jeans, but shorts. Because the shorts part looks okay, but the high-waisted part looks terrible.
Terrible, like it's the worst thing that we've seen. Come on, Bane, catch her. Yes.
Now, chuck her.
Time to dominate this broad. What is she doing?
Throwing her outside.
This is a terrible...
On her person.
Why would you put her on your back if you're going to throw her for?
No, I wouldn't. It just makes no sense. Why don't you just projectile throw her like a javelin?
Well, if anything, try to gorilla press her if you're going to put her on your back. Uh-oh,
oh, gosh, you're going to throw her out there now, too?
Oh, cross body. Bane is something special.
That's weird. And weird. Chris says, we call them short coochie cutters, LOL. That sounds gross.
Hey, I look like two dudes about to kiss.
I thought it was CM Punk for a second kissing. I was like, what the fuck is he doing on this show?
Philip Jack Brooks or whatever his name is. That guy's in new shows now.
Who?
That guy that they show.
Yeah. Pascal.
Yeah, I don't know his name. I've seen him in a few things. It's kind of cool that he's getting some work. Better than this guy.
So it says there is videos of kids crying after they saw John Cena turn heel.
That's awesome.
What? I thought that you said that all of the John Cena's fans were adults.
I love it. Because that's what happened in Hogan's Day. But you also had grown men crying at ringside. No. And then you also had the ring fill up with garbage. Which we didn't see either. So it wasn't quite as emotional.
I think it just wasn't as unexpected. I think people were expecting it to happen.
Really?
I mean, people say they didn't, but that's just them blowing smoke up WWE's ass so they can get their paycheck.
I feel like there's no one on the planet that thought Cena was going to turn heel. He would have done it already kind of attitude.
Pete Hall says, DZ Dukes, bring it back to 92. My cheesy bread filled me up. I bet cheesy bread with meat usually does, or cheesy bread as in pizza with no
And then
meat.
they would take the top of the shorts and roll them down.
It's true. To make him even more low.
Right. And they were already low enough.
That's true. They were. Sophie says some WWE fans just became fans and missed the Attitude Era and the Ruthless Aggression Era of the WWE. Chris says also next week NXT show is stacked. Y'all might have to be live, or at least for Obafemi versus Moose.
That should be a banger.
Robbie says
she has school, so we can't.
Robbie says, was it a great invention when they did mix salt and sweet popcorn combined?
Yes.
Yes. Salty and sweet combinations of food have always been a good thing, especially in snacks. Chris says Megan Bean looking delicious.
Yeah, she looks good. Not as good as Penelope, but she definitely looks good.
Sophie says Rhea was acting like a baby on a tantrum when she lost the championship.
Well, she should have.
As she should act like a baby on a tantrum. She
obviously got attacked by Bianca, so that should have been a disqualification. The referee seen it.
Watched it. Looked at it.
Allowed it to happen.
Was even involved in it. The referee
and yet
was.
Didn't ring the bell. It's kind of fishy if you think about it. Then she loses because of the interference from Bianca. Blatant interference, by the way. It wasn't like, oh, she literally attacked her from behind. What, we're going to act like that didn't happen?
Right.
Megan Bean.
People's like, I like trail mix, the one with the M&Ms. Do you like the one from Costco? Do you like Kirkland brand?
That's what she got.
Their trail mix? I like their trail mix. I liked it better when they didn't have peanut M&Ms in it. I just like the chocolate M&Ms. I feel like it's a little bit weirder now with the peanut M&Ms in it too. But beggars can't be choosers, I guess. I could go back to just making my own. I used to make trail mix just like that. I used to go and get bulk.
The best thing in
stuff
the
at
world,
Winco and
if
just
you're making things, is Chex Mix. That stuff. The Trail Mix, Chex Mix stuff. With the pretzels and all that shit. There's nothing on the planet better than that.
Sophie says the WWE had an idea Cena was going to win the Chamber sometime in October. Bronson says, have you guys seen a movie called Lucas, 1986? Charlie Sheen and Winona Ryder are in it. It came out a couple years before Beetlejuice.
Wait, wasn't that when Corey Haim was like a little kid? Isn't that the whole movie?
Lucas?
Yeah.
Maybe.
I'm pretty sure he's Lucas. Or Charlie Haim, or whatever.
Charlie Sheen?
Charlie Sheen raped him in that movie.
Yes.
Allegedly.
Chris says might watch that Queen of the Ring movie.
Oh, definitely gonna try
Who
to watch
wouldn't
it.
watch it? Sophie says, but did you think they would have EO beat Rhea on Monday, though that was kind of a surprise?
It was a surprise, but I knew it was going to happen. If you go back and watch the video of me talking, is right when Bianca attacked her, I was like, she's going to lose?
Yep.
Like, why would they do... Because I knew it already, because she was outside too long,
yep.
and Io was just chilling in the ring, so I knew it was going to happen.
Yep.
And I was like, they're going to have her lose?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was pretty dumb. Robbie says that gal in the white showing why she has great assets.
Yeah, and she does. I mean, they look natural.
Not Megan Bain. Sophie says before Monday, people didn't give you a chance at winning since they just won the championship back almost 2 months ago.
Yeah, it was a terrible decision by H. But maybe Rhea has something else to do. I was thinking maybe she's got other things going on in her life. Maybe she's planning on having babies. I don't know.
Right.
But there's no way you put it on a jobber. I mean, he had it on Liv for a while. But he already saw what it was like on Io. And Io was terrible.
So why put it back on
her? So he had to put it back on her, which is fucking weird. Because she's terrible.
Yeah.
She can barely even jump off the ropes.
Chris says, I'm also been training for my softball team at HEB. Still no date on when the tournament starts, but I'll be ready.
Hell yeah.
I got some Mike Trout batting gloves yesterday.
Nice. There you go.
That'll make you fast. Sophie says The Undertaker will be on NXT next week for what, the 4th time in his career?
Great. We're going to hear The Undertaker's dong.
He's going to swing his dong around at everybody. It's going to be nasty.
Ducked it. Megan Bates got her on her back. End it. F5!
Pico says that was the worst Hardy's team move. Come on, Rosa. You are no Jeff Hardy.
No. She's done. Put a fork in her. Bane.
Chris says, I feel like Io winning title is a manufactured move by WWE, not what fans wanted. They did it with Jey Uso. They did it with Cena. Now Io. Robbie says, Io not keeping it for long anyway.
I hope not. I hope that's a very temporary shit, because she is so bad. She can't cut a promo. Like, how the hell are you going to have a champion that can't talk at all? Like, not even a little bit. Mm-hmm. She's cute as shit when she talks, by the way. But she's not good at it. So unless they go straight Shinsuke Nakamura. If they do that with her, I'm okay with it. Mm-hmm. But they would have to do that where she doesn't try to speak English. It's straight Japanese the whole time, and they translate it. Mm-hmm.
So he says there's a report you will see a lot of AEW releases coming this month.
Oh, good.
Robbie says F5 for the win. And Chris says, yeah, on LFG show, this tiny blonde is on Taker's team. And she asked him if she can use Hell's Gate submission as her finisher. Taker was pissed.
Did she use it, though? There she is.
Ugh,
Sasha. Is that an E on her necklace in the middle? Sure,
yeah.
Looks like an S.
It's an E.
I can't see.
It's like a capitalized E.
Huh.
Robbie says AEW have better women than WWE. Pico says, first show, she's a paper champion. Chris says he was like, you been in the business but 2 minutes already asking a legend if you can use my finisher. So he says Jeff Jarrett is on board with a video game company called Acclaimed.
So all I have to say about that, because we did see that on Monday in the previews for that show, why would you ask?
Yeah, exactly. Just use it. Who cares?
Just use a move.
And then call it something
because
else.
Every wrestling move is somebody's move, right? Like, you can either name it like a super kick or a thrust kick. A thrust kick is what it is. A super kick is from Shawn Michaels kind of thing, right? Like, so if you did a super kick, just don't call it a super kick. Mm-hmm. And then it's not his kick. Although his is sweet chin music. But you know what I'm talking about. Like, you don't... Like, more than one person uses a pile driver. Do a different one. You know, a crossface crippler. Do a different one.
It's true. Picola says, bro, Penelope Pit Stop never wins matches on her own. That's Robbie's okay. Like, all the titles, quitter face. And Sophie says, people predict whatever this Jade storyline will somehow connect to this Rhea Bianca Io WrestleMania storyline in some way.
It would have to. I mean, she's part of it. You could tell how Naomi kept looking at her when Jade was coming down. She kept looking back like, hey, are you seeing this? My question is, why does he think he's the best wrestler alive?
I don't know. He got some thing that gave it to him. He's been...
Like a plaque?
Yeah, well, it's not. It's a piece of paper, but yeah.
Yeah. So did he print it out on the interweb?
Maybe.
Former Scissor Daddy.
Chris says, yeah, it's an unwritten rule in wrestling. They are known to get mad if you use it. Even when you call it something else, wrestlers need to just get over it, man.
Well,
everybody uses everybody else's moves. I don't know.
It's a generic move at its core. Just use the generic.
And then just put a little twist on it that's your own.
Right, like the Sister Abigail is different when Bray did it and Jay White does it than when by the way, Jay White does it.
When Bliss does it.
And Bliss does it, but she does it as a DDT. Right? Like, so just tweak it a little bit. Don't ask. Just do it different.
Pico says, right, everyone does a power bomb. And Robbie says it's not as easy when a lot of moves are limited. Robbie also says, if you don't believe in yourself, who will? So he says, I feel like Roman and CM Punk are somehow involved with this John Cena, Cody Rhodes, The Rock storylines.
Yeah, we'll see. I think it's going to be Seth Rollins and CM Punk, though. That is too much. Too much money to be made there.
and they're such a high contention, and they still hate each other, and they're still beating each other up.
Seth doesn't want him there in real life.
Everybody hates everybody.
Oh, I thought he was going to throw the mic out. I think he was going to throw the mic on the stands.
He's like, oh, I can't do that. Jay White, huh?
Look how excited he is.
So he's like, I meant by kids, I mean little kids, like they're 8 or 9 crying over a Cena Hill turn. And then Robbie says, do you explain what the twist that should be added? Fuck if I know, I don't know that, dumb bitch. All I know is I saw a clip of it, and then they're talking about it. And I said, just put your own spin on it. I don't know what her spin is.
And name it.
Dumb blonde spin? Fuck, I don't know this stupid cunt.
Name it something different.
Right? Like, why?
And why would you not wait till you're in? Those people aren't even in yet.
No.
Like,
they're still pretending.
And then, if he says, I mean, obviously he said no, but if she doesn't make it, obviously she wasn't good enough. But if she does, then it works. And if she doesn't, and she goes to another company, she could use it anyways and tell him to go fuck himself.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, you're washed up. You're through. You don't matter.
Mm-hmm. Piccolo says, can we let things breathe for once? Robbie says, the baseball jacket is so popular in America. Go on. Piccolo says, let's go Switchblade. And Sophie says, for the second week in a row, women main evented Raw. And it was gay.
Yeah.
And lame.
That's it, Sister Abigail. It's over already. That would have been the greatest, or the fastest match in the history of wrestling. If he wouldn't have wasted all that time.
He didn't stop to clap.
He hit him with the Abigail. Speaking of which, there it is.
Piccolo says, this will be a good match. It's done. It wasn't even a match.
It was a Sister Abigail and then a 1, 2, 3.
And then he cried. You leaving? That's good. Sophie says, did you see Naomi looking back at Bianca when she saw Jade coming out?
Yes.
Everybody did. Everybody saw it. Oh no, he's all alone.
Liv thought she was in trouble, and she wasn't.
Good God.
Hair. Oh, whisker.
Oh.
Whole one.
Very wiry hair. As Piccolo says, that was uneventful. Yeah, it was.
Yeah, that was dumb.
It's a good thing they did it.
Wait, hold on. They're both in it now? Here we go. Look at her face. She's spitting her face. Is that a song? Look what you do. Look what you
Yes,
do.
it is.
Holy shit, she's very biased.
Mm-hmm.
She's like a normal journalist now. Look at her, she's even leaning to her side. What the fuck? Renee, you're not very neutral, bitch.
She's been watching the left media too much.
Look at her face! Hey, Jade is that bitch again. Which she should have been in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
It was kind of dumb that she wasn't. Look at the bruise.
Mm-hmm.
Hit something. It's sore. Look at her face! Her whole face makes this happen. Do you think that's her real hair, Mariah Mace?
I don't know. Maybe.
Pray for her. They both said at the same time. Pray for her. Is that it? It's over? You can go home?
No.
It'll be some stupid ass match. What match is it? Do we know? Look what you made me do.
I don't know. Robbie says, who cares what Liv thinks? Sophie says, it seems like every time they have a chance to give us Rhea versus Bianca, they somehow messed it up. Robbie says, my, does May look like she's about to cry? Sophie says, Io also holds the two versions of the women's championship and she became a Grand Slam champion.
Why would we want Liv and Bianca? Bianca would crush her. Is that what she's... Liv and Bianca?
Rhea versus Bianca.
Yeah, no, we don't need that yet. That's their two biggest girls that aren't old. Like Becky and Charlotte. And they don't want to play that out yet. They're probably going to do it in a year or two. And they'll do it for the full year. It'll be one of those full year feuds like we had with John Cena and The Rock. Is John Cena going to turn on The Rock? And he's just doing this to get in. So he can help Cody.
Do you think that's why they did it, Sophie? Did they do that so she could become a Grand Slam champion when she's really not, because they made other championships? They made 2 women's mid-card championships, so technically she can't be a Grand Slam champion. Right? You have to win them all.
Yes.
Every single championship, so she needs to win the United States Women's Championship, the International Women's Championship in order to be a Grand Slam champion. I don't know who said that she is a Grand Slam champion, but she's not.
They keep adding belts.
If you're going to add belts, then you can't be a Grand Slam. And they added those belts before she got this last one, so...
What happened? Bailed. You're like, he's on fire. He's like, that doesn't have a blanket on. His whole throat's jazzed up.
You eat some food? Piccolo said Tony hadn't flinched one bit, and Chris says Mariah spit on Tony. I'll spit in my mouth. Okay, super effective. Ew. Sophie says, do you think Io loses to Bianca or Rhea, though?
If it ends up being a fatal 3-way type tornado whatever match, then I think that Bianca wins and pins Io. He did. Kobe. The thing about Kobe and his thought process, and his dad taught him it, was if I train every day for an hour, and all my teammates just train at practice, every week I will have 7 more hours of practice than they will. Every month I'll have 1 hours more.
Right.
And in a year, I'll have 360 hours more than they will.
It's weird, but... Oh, it's this stupid match.
Oh, it's tonight? So they have the contract signing for the day of it?
See what he did with his hat?
Oh,
He, moved it like this. I don't know. He's having a match with somebody. I don't know who.
Oh, Ricochet. these like facilities that they're using now. It's kind of weird. They're like little.
They couldn't sell enough stuff, so they had to make it smaller, probably.
Maybe playing at pokey.
Yeah, right. Let's see. Robbie says, so this match worth staying up for on Sunday? No. Vindicator says, I predict Tony and my baby Mariah will have the second best match at Revolution behind Ospreay and Fletcher in the cage. Omega match will be banger too, but yeah, I think Tony retains. Pico says mediocrity.
She will because she just won
Deonna
it.
Purrazzi.
I don't think they're going to have her win it back that quick. I mean, it would be a huge surprise. So,
yeah,
they should have waited and had her win it here at this pay-per-view.
What are we doing?
What's she doing?
Keep your cat out of stuff because he's being a freak. Stop.
A frog.
Stop being a freak. This is why you're not allowed in places.
Ricochet's got to get his ass kicked here, right?
Probably.
He's not good enough to beat this guy. But how do you lose going into a pay-per-view?
Sophie says the plan is Rhea versus Io versus Bianca at Mania. Chris says it will be a scissoring ending.
Oh, maybe.
Pico says I hope so, Chris. Surely hope so. Tony and Mariah May. Robbie says, okay, everyone, thanks for watching Wrestling Gap tonight. Sophie says there is a report we are getting a draft at some point after Mania.
Yeah.
Vindicator's like, thanks, Robbie. Good night. Robbie says, Becky versus Charlotte. Wow. Wowee. Let me piss my pants with excitement.
Yeah, I get it.
Vindicator message retracted, and Pico says, who's this Juan China? I'm a new fan and I'm familiar. Robbie says, Vin, off so soon? And Pico says, see you, Vindicator. And Sophie says, we know we are getting Jade versus Bianca at some point, even though Jade didn't look at Bianca way after beating up Naomi. Robbie says, Io loses Bianca. Pico says, that Murray dude is so funny. Robbie says, how this guy getting main event? Vindicator says, but yeah, just like main event Jay, main event Rico, it's just not my style. So I'm checking out. See you guys next week, unless you decide to stream Revolution later, Gators. Sophie says Steel Cage usually means the end of a feud, and we are getting it between CM Punk versus Seth on Raw, and they never had a one-on-one pay-per-view match since this feud between them started.
Yeah, but the door could get locked shut, and they could beat the crap out of him somehow. Or, either one. This match is happening. So it's a tag team match. They added a tag team stipulation. So Swerve hypothetically should get pinned by Ricochet in this. To play for the match coming up.
Right.
I don't know if they'll do that, but that's what should happen.
Pico says Ricochet gets his receipt, and then Robbie says, but you will be watching.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely going to watch it. They need to somehow get our girl on there, Harley Cameron. Maybe she'll be on the pre-show or something. There's no way she can't be on the pay-per-view. It's just too hot. Popular. Hot.
Popular hot.
Like H-O-T, not H-O-T-T. Does he have blood on his head?
I don't know if he has blood on top of his head or if he has something else.
What the hell's on top of his head?
Well, I don't know if he got hit with something. Like bruises or marks or something like that. It's red, but not blood. Like he got scuffed up.
We're underway. Okada is out there. This is an interesting tag team.
Sophie says Io almost did defeat Liv when they met at Saturday night's main event.
Yeah, and that would have been the smarter move if they were going to pull this shit. And then had Liv wrestle Rhea going into Mania season instead of what we're getting. To me, it made no sense. And you could have had a Rhea in the freaking Royal Rumble as well, doing it that way. Which would be way more exciting than Io. Isn't Okada supposed to be the best wrestler in the world? Or like one of... Shouldn't he
Supposedly.
be the best wrestler in this match by far, hypothetically?
Yeah. Robbie says that was a conscious decision to give up AEW pay-per-view. Pickle says AEW life is much happier since no Buckaroo's been around.
They'll be back at some point.
Yeah, I don't even know who the tag team title holders are on this for the men.
It's still Private Party? No, it's the Hurt Business.
Oh, yeah, that's
The Hurt
right.
Syndicate.
They want it. That's right. So he says, wonder where Bailey fits on the Mania card then. And Piccolo says, thought Kenny was around.
Kenny! He is.
He
Just
just
not
do
tonight.
stuff. He's a VP guy.
He's got better things to do than wrestle.
Right?
He's at the end of his rope.
The rope of end.
Swerve and Ricochet having their banger of a match. Oh, God. Hopefully that starts the show out.
Oh. He didn't sell that at all, did he? Getting thrown into
The
that.
sign literally says Brody King. I thought he was going to rip it, but I forgot he's the babyface.
All of a sudden, he's a nice guy. He's like, I was with that group.
What's happening with the audio or the video? Is that... In WWE, if that happened, it would mean somebody else is coming.
Right.
But in this, it was definitely just a loose wire on a camera or something. Did you see what just happened?
Yeah, the green.
No.
Oh.
I mean, like, Okada kicked Ricochet.
Oh.
And then they just splashed him both with Brody.
Ah. I saw the splashing. I didn't see him kick him.
Yeah. Okada, that's how he got on his lap. He ran down there to kick Swerve, and Swerve moved, and he kicked Ricochet right in the face.
Robbie says, did you think Tony knows what direction he's taking AEW in?
No, I don't think he has a plan.
Piccola says, did your screen turn green?
Yeah.
WTF?
Yeah, I think it's just a loose wire. See how they're wrestling on the wires and stuff? I think the camera that they were using just kind of came unplugged a little bit. I thought we were going to get a Bray Wyatt signing. Or sighting.
Oh.
Or the Wyatt Six show up in AEW.
Ooh. Yeah, those guys.
They're irrelevant in WWE.
Basically. They completely disappeared off the face of the planet.
Oh, they're trash.
Bliss came around and they're like, okay, bye. Okay.
And now she's getting it like it's starting over.
I guess. Now it's all dumb with her. It's fucking stupid. Sophie says, who do you think wins in the steel cage, Seth versus CM Punk?
Punk's already beat him once. So I would say it's either going to be a no decision and they have to stop it because of how crazy it gets so they can finish it at Mania. But if there is a decision to be made, it's Seth unless Punk cheats. It's kind of that's how wrestling is. I can't just say Punk's going to win or Seth's going to win because that's not exactly how it works.
Right. Robbie's like, bring back Limited Lee.
I think he's not healthy enough, like physically, like 400 pounds and got a bad heart.
True. Pickle's like, oh, picture in picture. Robbie says, does anyone care what Punk becomes? Yes,
you guys have
Pickle
picture in
does.
picture, so they must not do that on
HBO's.
HBO.
Sophie says, or Roman comes to help out Seth Rollins. Why would he come to help Seth?
Why would he help Seth? Because Seth hates him. That would. I mean, obviously Roman could get interjected into that somehow, but it doesn't.
Sophie's like, I meant Roman comes out to help CM Punk. Again, why would he help him?
Yeah, I don't think he likes either one of them.
You think that would be CM Punk's favor from Paul Heyman is to have fucking Roman come help him?
And it could be. He could call in his favor, but it's early.
But it'd be weird. I feel like that's something he can sit on for quite a long time.
Well, I would assume he'd sit on it till Mania.
Yeah, at least. Pico says, man, 2015 was a good year. Sophie says, I think Roman is rumored to show up on Raw. And Robbie says, Punk, he's not a big deal this time round. Tell that to his face,
I
Robbie.
can't believe that 2015 was 10 years ago.
No, it's not. Oh, it's yesterday. Stop.
I'm like, oh my god. I was like, that was like 3 years ago, wasn't it? And I'm like, holy shit.
According to a guy on Reddit, they're referred to as squirt yurts. Those pots they're talking about. They're like these prey pots or whatever.
Squirt yurts.
People's like, yeah, remember, I heart Juan Cena. He's my hero. Not anymore. Not your hero anymore. So he says if Seth defeats CM Punk, they would be 1-1 against each other.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. And that would make more sense if they wanted to have a normal ending. But I feel like it's not going to be normal. Remember when Seth took a sledgehammer to Bray Wyatt in the chamber? Mm-hmm. And they had to, like, a Hell in a Cell or whatever it was. And they had to stop it even though there's no rules. And then that ruined Seth for probably 2 years.
Right.
He lost the title the next pay-per-view, and we never saw him. I mean, he's never got it back. Never been the same.
Yeah, they really fucked his story up by doing what they did.
Bray should have never had the title.
He should have never had the
except
title.
for when he was Bray. But as the Fiend, he should have never had the title. So, like, that whole loss to Goldberg should have never happened.
Mm-hmm.
Because he should have never had the title.
Yep.
The whole loss to Roman to start the whole thing. You know, I mean, he was in that match. He didn't get pinned, but he was in that match.
Yeah.
Him and Braun.
Yep.
Braun was there, too. And Braun got pinned.
Yep.
And that started the Roman thing. Would have never happened. With him in it, at least. It was just a bad idea to put the title on Bray. And not that he doesn't deserve it or any of that stuff.
Yeah, that
His
wasn't
character
it.
doesn't
The Fiend didn't deserve it. He was the Fiend at the time,
yeah.
right? Wasn't he?
Yes.
Yeah.
And that character didn't need it. He was already something. All a championship does is make somebody something.
Yeah.
That's why the Undertaker didn't need it. You know, you don't go, oh, Undertaker was a 14-time world champion. You don't even say it.
You don't even have to say he was a champion. He was the Undertaker.
Because he's the Undertaker.
Yeah.
Like, you don't need the championships to go along with it. Now, like Ric Flair, he's the Nature Boy, but he's the world champion of champions.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what he's known for.
Yep.
So championships was his thing. Bray's thing was the family.
Mm-hmm.
Slapped him right on the wound on top of his head.
And Piccola says, ew, for something earlier. And Sophie says, to sell on this heel turn, John Cena has to beat up R-Truth or the cameraman that usually follows him to the ring. Sophie says Vince McMahon must have had like a heart attack when he saw John Cena turn heel on Saturday. Probably not. I bet he was probably in conversations with him about it.
He probably did call Vince because they are close. But there is a possibility, I'm not saying it's happening, but there's a possibility that Vince doesn't even watch it.
True.
Like, doesn't even care about it, doesn't read about it, doesn't watch. I mean, what's he going to be on Twitter?
Right. Like, oh, I
he's
saw
it. He's an 80-year-old billionaire.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure he has better things to do than to sit at home and watch pay-per-views.
Right.
He probably doesn't even know how to use a remote.
His wife's all over the Department of Education of the government. I'm pretty sure he's busy doing other shit by now.
He got better things to do.
People says, so I caved in and picked up Disney for 2 months, and wow, the new Daredevil is brutal so far.
Like it's violent?
Or it's bad.
Or it's bad.
Sophie says 7 years ago today marks when Goldberg beats Bray Wyatt. And then Picola's like, who's Goldberg again? Sophie says, Picola, I know the way Daredevil Born Again started was a surprise. And Robbie says, so Cody, does he have a chance to bounce back? And Richard says, who's excited for the Young Bucks' big return? As much as I hate them, I can't wait to make fun of them again.
Right.
And Picola says Brody King can beat these guys all by himself. Right. He should be able to.
Not Okada. Right? I
No.
feel like Okada's just too good. Ricochet should win this clean. Just set up for their match.
Right. Sophie says there was like a tweet that showed Vince looking crazy when he was shaved bald.
Long time ago. Yeah, that was that whole Trump feud, remember? With Bobby Lashley. Who was Vince's guy? I just remember Bobby Lashley was Trump's. Was it Chris Masters or something? Anyways, it was a hair for hair match.
Right.
And they had to pick a wrestler to represent them. And Trump picked Bobby Lashley.
Nice.
And Bobby obviously won.
Of course he did.
And Vince shaved his fucking head right there in the center of the ring.
Piccolo says, LOL Jim Cornette, when Raw went over to Netflix, he had his wife put the app on his TV and taught him how to maneuver it.
That's what I'm saying. Like, well, you know, those people, those professionals like that, they don't watch TV.
True.
Harley Cameron in action this Saturday, so make sure you're watching that.
Robbie says, I don't see Cody having a chance with The Rock and Cena in the spotlight. And Piccolo's like, Umaga. Umaga was Vince's pick.
Oh, pretty good pick, by the way. But
Sophie says it must be awkward at the McMahon's mansion for the holidays. Why? Why would it be awkward?
just because Triple H is running WWE.
I know, right? Well, and he's a weirdo. He's probably had so many girls on their knees, so, and it's all probably, like, known. So I guess that'd be kind of awkward. So it says, funny, Bobby Lashley wasn't supposed to be in that Mania role. Batista was. Piccolo says the veins be popping out Ricochet's head.
Yeah, he got veins. And they're multiplying.
Gross.
And they're losing control.
Yeah.
Oh!
Jeez.
Look at this. There it comes. That's how Swerve gets pinned. Nope. I guess I don't know what time it is. It should be over.
It should be done.
There's a hockey fight right in the center of the ring. Come on, Okada. Slips off the back, riptide.
Sophie says Vince probably asked Triple H what's going on with it at WWE now. Robbie says if you have all that money, I would chillin' on holiday not watching wrestling or giving an F what YouTube says.
Exactly. Well, you know he's not watching YouTube videos.
Or social video shit. Or social media at all. Like, no, there's no way that
Vince is on TikTok going.
just scrolling
Bullshit.
Away on Tickety Talk.
You can't be a billionaire and be like, I'm going to scroll on TikTok. Now, we do have one. I think Elon Musk might scroll, but he does do a lot of work stuff too.
But he also owns a social media place, so it makes sense he would be on social media.
But he does tweet here and there. I've seen Vince's tweets, but I'm not sure he writes them.
Has this PR person do it?
Here it is.
Sophie says, congrats to Linda for your role in the Department of Education. Sophie says, or Piccolo now says, do you think Brody King has Stan Hansen's elements, Travis?
No. He doesn't, he's not as disgusting, right? Like, that's what he needs, is the dip and the chew just dripping out of his mouth, and
ew.
to have what Stan Hansen had.
That's gross.
Stan was something special.
Piccolo's like ornery and badassness. Personally, I think so. Sophie says Vince probably watches Raw and SmackDown sometimes. Piccolo says, nah, Vince is watching Matlock. Robbie says, yeah, sure. He stumbled across Wrestling Gab. F no, right? Sophie says Vince probably does what Dana White does by watching the product.
Nah.
Doubtful.
Vince doesn't own it. Dana White owns it.
I feel like there'd just be no reason for him to, but whatever. News Piccolo says L and a cowbell rope.
My question is how much stock does Vince still own that isn't that Class A stock?
Oh, yeah.
He could own, still a huge percent of it and be making bank.
True. Very true.
But, not as the Class A stock, because he sold that.
Right.
Because that was the ownership of the company.
Yeah. Sophie says Vince probably misses being in charge. Not necessarily.
I doubt it.
Alright, everybody, that's the end of AEW Dynamite. Thanks for hanging out with us tonight. We'll be back again on Friday for WWE SmackDown. Alright, guys, thanks for hanging out.